right, welcome back to Julie and Adrian. Adrian, Julie. Adrian.
Hello, yes.
I was telling you,
Yes.
I went to Burwood Chinatown.
For the first time.
I feel so stupid because what's so funny? I'm always at Burwood, right?
Yes.
And then
Where were you at
legit,
Burwood?
I'm always at Burwood, just like getting my lashes done, getting the nails done.
Oh my, it's just shocking.
when it's
For
like-
context, for those who are not in Australia,
Yes.
so Burwood is this suburb that just flourished in the past 5 years
Yes.
because they made this like Burwood Chinatown, and literally it's better than our Chinatown. It's the ultimate
Yes,
Chinatown.
that's what my friend was
Yeah.
saying. So it's so funny because like my grandma lives, she's passed away now,
Yeah.
but she used to live in Burwood. So
Yeah.
when I was at university, Burwood was kind of like it had the Westfields, and that
Yes.
was like it.
Yeah.
And like my grandma used to be so funny. Like we used to take her to like the Westfield food court.
Yes.
She'd freak out over just like wedges because they were brown. She's like, no, they're brown. I can't eat it. Like, and then I just think,
What
all right.
wedges can she eat if it's not?
No, she just doesn't like. She's never seen it before in her
Okay.
life. She was just like freaking out because she's like, "These aren't chips. What are you eating?" Like,
Because
it's
wedges are
It's
brown.
brown. Like,
Got
like, what
it.
are you eating?
Yes.
And she would have just loved this Burwood
Burwood
Chinatown.
Chinatown. No
It's
wonder.
good because it's kind of like hidden, right?
Yes.
You could walk past it. That's the thing. Like,
Because
you
it's
can-
in an arcade, and
Yes.
the arcade's transformed to like this Chinese arcade,
yes, and it's
and it
like
has a second floor,
Yeah,
and even the second floor is you could miss the stairs, like literally.
yes,
if you
exactly.
don't look
yes.
up.
If you don't look up,
Yeah,
and it's
even
like
though it's hard not
like-
to look up, it's like so neon-y.
yeah,
Yes.
neon lights, and it's like cartoon characters, and then
Yes.
like it's just really like a movie set, right?
Yes.
If you were to
you
design
know
a
what?
movie
It's
set.
like a movie set.
Yes, yes.
That movie set. That is perfect definition of it. 'Cause
Yes.
It's like someone just created it for filming.
Yeah, it is, right? But and eating as well. Like the thing is, the friend that I went with, she was like, "Okay, what we're gonna do
Yes.
is we're gonna divide and conquer." Like the
Do you know
meals.
that is what people do in Burwood Chinatown? Is they divide and conquer.
Yes,
Yes.
I think you have to. And then the good thing was, because she knew what to get,
Yeah.
it made things easier. It
Yeah.
didn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so it was just, we had
You
like
got
the
multiple
skewers,
bubble teas.
multiple bubble peas, the tiger bubble
Did you know
tea
that
was-
that surrounding Burwood Chinatown, there's like at least 21 bubble tea shops?
Yeah, but you know what? This bubble tea, I thought I had good bubble tea at
Yeah,
Eastwood.
yeah.
I think this takes it to another level. Like, hands down.
Wait, Machi Machi, I think just opened in Burwood. It just opened in Eastwood.
Oh, did it?
They just
yeah,
opened
okay.
too. So,
Right, so that's the next
you
one.
have access to this
Yeah.
amazingness, but the
Yes.
tiger doesn't exist in
The
Eastwood.
tiger is,
Yeah.
I think tiger's number one.
Because it's milk and I'm lactose, so I've actually never tried it. But I should just eat the lactose and
Can you
just
do
try
like
it.
soy, like a soy?
Do they do soy? I don't think so. I went there and I didn't look at any option. I
Maybe
couldn't
just
see any option.
ask. Like,
Because I know that Machi Machi does oat milk. That's why
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Machi
yeah.
Machi.
I reckon it probably would,
Yeah.
but it's like so legit. I love it. Where it's like, the service is, they just don't care.
They don't have
because they're
service.
Exactly. Because they're that good.
Yeah.
That's
And
when you know.
Did you know that Machi Machi actually have a membership program that is so coveted that every couple of months when they announce they're allowed the membership, it's only for the first 100 people. The queue will be
Oh,
bananas
right, yes.
because the membership allows you to pay, I can't remember how much, but it's, I think it's $10 and you get $10 worth of bubble tea,
Mhm.
which means it's basically free, right? But with the membership, not only you get points and people love Machi Machi, but you get like these goodies.
Oh, yes, you get,
you get the key
merchandise.
rings, yes.
Yes.
And then everyone just love them. Like, it's funny. Like when you see Machi Machi and there's a queue of people,
Yes.
you know that's the
Oh,
day.
that's the day.
That's the day that they
it
allow
strikes out.
membership because they don't allow it all the time.
Yeah, well, with the skewers, right?
Yes.
Because that's the first thing that I
Quite
can.
food.
Okay, yes. So, do you have a particular preference of skewers? Like, how do you kind of work your way around choice?
Oh, I just
All
get them.
skewers.
Oh, I get them all, but the one thing that I love the most is this thing that has this chicken that has this crunchy.
Yes,
The
that's
dots,
the
the
one.
dots.
The
It's funny.
fillets.
Like if we have 100% and then everything is 5%, let's say
Yeah.
like every item is 5% of 100%.
Yes.
That would be 25%, maybe 30%.
Of your cards.
Yes,
Yeah. Of your
of
plastic
the
tray.
entire thing. Yes.
Yeah, and yes, your sister-in-law actually introduced me to that. But I'd have to say because we
Oh,
had it
when we
in
bought that for
Tasmania.
her,
Yeah.
Her reaction is like a village person who's never eaten good food. And I'm like, you're from Melbourne, and they're good. They're great food there. And her reaction was like she's like having mini orgasmic attack. Like she was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, just chill. It's just food. And then she's like, no, it's so good. And then what are we gonna have tomorrow? I'm like, all right, let's find good food. But it's like my brother doesn't allow her to have great food or something.
She's like kept in.
Yes.
And then it's so funny because she loved it that much. She's like, oh no, I know where to take you. She's like, hey, let's go.
Yes.
And it's funny, like, I find I'm like that. If I go to a good place, it's like, yeah, let's go back. And let's just like hit up the same place over and over.
See, I used to do that. I mean, I'm fine doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I do that. I do that. I don't get sick often. Like, I don't get sick of things.
Sick of the actual, If they don't change it.
Yeah.
Like, I find with the skewers, if that's like their thing and they do it like so well.
Yeah.
Because I loved it. We were like the first ones there. And then the lady,
flavor is just.
Well, the lady was like, oh, it's going to take 15 minutes to heat up the fryer.
Yeah.
Like,
Why? What time did you come there?
Oh, we went really early.
Oh, no, one time.
We were like the first one.
15 minutes.
We were like number one.
Did you that means you got seat? Because usually at like peak time, the seat is packed.
Yeah, we got seats.
Yeah.
And
did you get a pancake? Which pancake?
The pancake downstairs.
The big long one.
Yes.
My favorite. It's called pork whey.
Yeah.
And then there is a filling of pork, lamb, or there's a great vegetarian one, which is pickled veggies. But there is a taro one, which is the sweet dessert one. That one's really good. I love that.
Are you more savory or sweet?
Oh, just one each. And then we'll share it among us. That's what we did with my sister-in-law. We shared it, and then she was like, she ate the lamb one, and she's like, oh my god, it's so good. And then I was like, wait, try this taro one. Oh my god, freaking out. She's freaking out.
Well, the friend that I went with, she is she's Chinese, and she moved here like when she was from university.
Yeah.
So she's had a few years, but then she was saying like there was this Chinese dessert that we tried, and it's like icing.
Yes.
And then you have watermelon on top, and then you have like lychee. It's like very traditional Chinese. I've never had it like that before.
In Burwood Chinatown?
No, Burwood Chinatown. Yeah.
In the same
spot. Did
you take a picture?
No, I should next time.
Yes.
I'm sure we're going to get it up again.
Watermelon, it's shaved ice.
It's like shaved ice.
With
and then
watermelon and lychee.
Yes, because you know how the Koreans do that.
Bingsu?
Yeah, bingsu.
Yeah.
But it's Chinese tradition.
Yeah.
Like, so the ice isn't as
thicker?
thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thicker.
It's like the Indonesian one as well.
Yes, that's right. And then the watermelon is fresh. And then they have the lychee, like small balls of lychee.
Okay, so it's like the honky dessert maybe, because the Hong Kong always does a lot of like the southern China, actually I should say, like, and then they put like not just those, but they put like the fungus, like whatever.
Yeah, like it tastes a bit medicinal.
Yes,
like like the medicine.
Okay, I think I know.
Yeah.
But I wonder which shop sells that. On the second floor or on the first floor?
The second upstairs.
Did you sit on the second floor? Or did you sit near the random transformer?
Oh yes.
Did you know what I'm talking about?
I think I needed to go to the toilet, and I was like, "Whoa, what
the hell is this?" Some random full-size transformer leads to Burwood Hotel. Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
What's with hotel? Not a hotel in Australia. I don't get it.
I know, that's so funny because I was actually thinking, do you think they were like, okay, all these like new merchants are coming in, I'm not moving, or are they like, okay, I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity and still be here? I think because it's like it's out
but their
of sorts,
food
right?
is actually okay.
Oh,
they do like Asian inspired menu.
Oh, do they?
So they're famous for their they make chips, but the flavor is the Korean chili chicken. You know the famous chili chicken?
Yes.
Samyang?
Yes.
Yeah, and it comes in a samyang package with a deep fried crushed samyang. So it's actually pretty good, that one.
Okay.
And their cocktails all come in a bubble tea. It's a bubble tea cocktails with the popping pearls. So they actually assimilate really well.
Yeah.
And did you know that the whole thing is not owned by Chinese? They're owned by Greeks.
Greeks, I love it.
And I love that when we discovered this with a bunch of Chinese, and the Chinese that I work with, not me, okay, not me. The Chinese that I was with, it's the Chinese they're all like. Yeah, that's why it's great, because if it's by Chinese, it wouldn't be this great.
Really?
And I didn't ask, I didn't inquire further. I didn't. I think it's like because I don't know. What did they say? I don't know. But they were saying like, because it's done by non-Chinese, so it's done really well, and I don't know why, but that came up, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't inquire further. I should have.
You didn't probe. You were just kind of like too busy looking at the food.
No, I was like, that's interesting. We were eating the freaking stick.
Oh. It's just, I think, like, honestly, if it's, I find that, like, Chinese culture, and I may be wrong.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, like, what, everyone thinks, but the Chinese culture is very similar to other cultures, right? So, like, when you think about the Greek culture, so my best friend is Greek, and, like, her thing is all about family.
Yeah.
So I can talk for days with her dad and, like, with her mum. It's all about, like, family. You have very shared commonalities. Like, everything's about food.
Italian too.
Yeah, it's Italian. Yeah, it's very, like, everything is about family, being together, like, and just, like, lots of family as well. I find that, and I think, like, with the Chinese, it's always so funny because, they love to boast.
Yeah.
Like, about the kids, what the kids are doing, and then about, like, what income you're doing.
That more than other culture.
Yeah.
Because other culture would be still modest about it, not the Asians. Like I'm Chinese Indonesian, so I can say that. Yes, they always do that, and they're always like, what if you go to a wedding? Like, when are you gonna get your second baby?
Oh yes, it's always the question.
You look so rounder than normal.
Yeah, like, do you think that's like, because when it's kind of like, oh, thanks, I guess it's like,
and a lot of them, it's kind of sad how in Asia, I guess sometimes like a boy are seen as we wanted boys or whatever. There are still like that. In fact. It's funny that I heard in mainland China now they'd rather have girls than boys because they know that girls will take care of the parents.
Yes, you know what? Okay. Yeah. And I reckon that's so true, right? Because, like, thinking old school, right? Yeah. My mum and dad would say, like, oh, if I was a boy, then that's it. Like, they would have stopped. Instead, they went, they had my brother.
Yeah.
But, so boys were treated.
They wouldn't have stopped if they don't have.
That's right. They just
your brother, exactly. You'd have 10 brothers.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just think, like, now with just how Asian parents are towards girls, it's the same effort. Like, they put in a lot of effort, a lot of care, like, and I think that it's interesting that the attitude has changed, right? Because I think there is some truth to that, like, when the girls grow up, they will technically be more with their parents, whereas, like, the boys have a tendency to get married and then just kind of fly the coop, and then that's it.
But I think because in Indonesia, the Chinese Indonesian are still the old school ones that prefer boys, and so my point was whenever we're in a wedding, the girls would get treated like, wow, you're getting fatter or whatever, you're more round. That's the word that they use a lot is you're getting round. But then the preceded sentence afterwards is different to boys and girls because girls would get, you need to start finding how you're going to find people, blah, 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 like very inappropriate stuff. Yeah. While if it's to boys, wow, you look like a Buddha, so you're lucky. It brings luck.
That's so true.
It's like
the angles of it.
Yeah, it's like so double standard, but it's difficult. Yeah,
it's funny how it's like perceived as that.
Yes.
Right? And then there's always like, we family get-togethers. There's always like the ones that are single, and like maybe they don't understand they're living their best life. They don't need like to partner or family or children. They don't want that.
Yeah, because even watching series, like the parents would say things that I would never say a Western series. The parents would never say this sentence, which is like, oh, who would take care of you? Like, like they really like who's gonna, like, but the Western parents are like, oh, I'll just go to a nursing home.
Exactly.
Like,
But then in saying that though, I'm just like, oh, no matter what happens, no nursing home. Aren't you the same?
Oh, but there are bougie nursing homes.
I know.
Yeah,
yes,
like the one in Vaucluse.
Yes.
Right in front of the cemetery, so you're ready to go. It's like turnover. But that one's like 2.5 million. Like,
actually, it's so funny. This is just such a really funny like Asian story where you kind of look at these retirement villages.
Yeah.
So. And it's like, done up really well.
Yeah, let's just go to the bougie one.
Yeah. And then apparently they just have lots of fun entertaining each other and like going to trips. And it's kind of like a all-day 365 hotel.
That's right.
You know?
It's like a cruise.
Yeah, it's a cruise.
It's a cruise. Yeah, the bougie one by Matt Moran. I think Matt Moran, someone, it's like $2.5 million for a studio one, basically.
Woo.
Yes.
Yeah. But then the fees up front are like so expensive. You've got to like pay $50,000 like straight up before you move in to secure a spot, because the spots are like
we'll be fine. We'll get there.
But then what if you have someone that pisses you off or someone you don't like as a neighbour? What if you have like that annoying, or you know, someone who's just like you don't vibe with, and you just like, I'm stuck here. This is my house for the rest of literally for the rest of your life.
Start plotting.
Yeah,
start plotting. Let's start plotting moving you to across the road.
But isn't it so taboo where, like, I don't know, I just feel like with Asians, it's like if you send your parents to a nursing home, you have failed.
Is it? I don't know, because I'm not born here. My parents are not here. So I don't know. Like,
really? No, that's the vibe. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the vibe. It's very big no. Like, so for instance, my grandma, on both sides, they started getting like early onset dementia. And then particularly my grandma, my dad's mum, and then it was like right until the very, very end, where it's like
they don't remember anything. They don't even know anything.
It's like more care, where it's like you need 24-hour care, otherwise you're going to, really
hurt yourself.
Yeah. Or if you hurt yourself, there'll be no one there to kind of work out what's going
on.
Yeah,
see, that's I think. Yeah.
It's kind of like the last thing that you do is like the last step of life when it comes to like shame factor. Is
but at least
nursing home.
The good thing is we have that option here, but in Indonesia there isn't.
You have to look after your parents,
or your maid, or your nanny, or your nurse, or whatever.
Yeah. So
live-in nurse.
You're saying like
there is no nursing home that I know of in Indonesia. Like, I don't know.
That's really interesting. Like culturally,
you just put it in the hospital for them to die.
Yeah. Or, but then like the hospitals, you need to time it right. You can't be like staying a month or half a year in the hospital.
There is no like palliative care nursing home or like whatever. Like
that's mind-blowing. Like there's a whole the industry is like not. Well, that probably supports the fact that, like...
It's taboo to...
It's very, You
have to take care of your own,
Yeah, right until the...
Yeah, it's interesting now that I think about it. No, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, very... I wonder what it's like, in other parts of the world. Like, whether it's the same thing or whether it's different.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, nursing home doesn't really... It's not a thing in the Asian world, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see like the comments of like what people think and like
even we watching Koreans like drama or whatever, they've never mentioned like I'm sending my parents to nursing home, like I'm sending that'll be hilarious if there is, right? Like a bunch of oldies like just enjoying their life, so just showcasing and maybe you break the stereotypes a little bit. It's actually quite fun living in nursing homes. Like
and then also like the kind of the prowess of like the boasting power of like what my son does and what my daughter does, and then what like my grandchildren do.
Everyone just be gossiping.
Yeah, no,
it's non-stop in the nursing home.
Be like an Asian wedding where you're trapped and you can't escape. All you do is boast. I found an awesome discovery. Right. You know how, do you ever use like transcribing interviews or?
Sorry, for what?
So like for work or like for content creation, right? Like, say if you do an interview like we're doing now.
ChatGPT.
No, you can get the audio file to then transcribe the stuff using Office. Did you know that or no?
Well, why would you need that?
So this podcast, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Transcribing that. I guess maybe it's a journo thing.
Okay.
Like, when you're doing a lot of interviews, there's a transcribe button.
And what do you need the transcription for?
To edit. So if you edit something, if you do like report writing, if anything to do with writing.
For schooling is great.
Yeah. But like, because before, back in the day, whenever we would come back from an interview and then we'd look through the interview and say, what did this person say? What did that person say? To cut it up for the final story, there's AI to do it for you.
And on Microsoft
Office. Yeah. I didn't realize. So you can just press, you can download the audio file, then press transcribe. They transcribe it all for you, and they have speaker 1, speaker 2, and then you just write who the speakers are, and then you can, effectively do it. So it helps with all like your content creation, and it's just I didn't realise that existed.
Because in using CapCut, like you can just start talking and then you just click auto caption.
Oh, with CapCut.
Yeah, and then it will slide immediately, like transcribe what you say. And put it on caption.
And then put it on top.
They put it on the thingamabob, in the screen. And then you can edit the transcription, and then you can change the font or whatever. So I do that, but I'm more of a content creator that write first, then voiceover instead of voiceover then caption.
Then caption, yes.
Yes, because I like to think about it. Because there's some content creators that can just wing it and just start blah, blah, blah.
Yes,
I'm not that. I'm more of a. I have to plan what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's interesting, like different people and how they like craft their content creation.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes you more efficient, or because it's your style and adapted to
I
you?
literally cannot. Like, if I were to have to freestyle it, maybe that's why. Like, it's hard. Like, yeah, I don't think I can, like, to just start talking and I like to be efficient with my wordings because it's 25 seconds.
Yes.
You know, I want every word to count and to mean something and to avoid people from swiping away because that's what you don't want. And I think if you just wing it, there's going to be so many wastage words.
Yes. So, like, in terms of, like, cutting it up.
All of that little fillers.
Yes.
Yeah. But there are people that are really good. They just, like, go, blah, 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 blah. But those people the video tend to be longer.
Yes,
because they just
they're so good at talking.
Like Annapol, like, you know, live. Like, you watch her going around wherever, like, you know. And
she's just doing her thing.
Yes.
Or, like...
Have you watched Annapol? Like,
no.
Oh, you should. It's great.
Yeah. What is it?
She's a TikToker.
Oh, yeah.
Well, influencer.
And then she's walking around.
Oh, she's just traveling, and then she just live. Like, you know, I'm here right now. I'm doing this.
I've watched a few of those. Yeah. Where it's like that
like the waist top, like she doesn't have any full stop. It's just all like
talking. Yeah, I've seen a few of those live streams where they're just like, this is
edited.
So good.
So it's like it's edited, but yeah, it's very nice. She does it really well.
Yeah, right. The ones that I see are the ones that like just roam around in the middle of the night. Yeah. It's so good, like in Tokyo or wherever.
Oh my God.
And
live.
Yes,
I think I've seen that actually.
It's like that category is like...
Maybe I should do that. I should roam around.
Yeah, you should roam around.
I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Live stream. Yeah, so tell us about what's happening in Japan. Any like little tidbits that you can...
Because Sakura season is coming.
How do you pack for it? How do you prepare and pack? Like
I pack the day prior, or like literally if I'm flying at like in the morning, then I'll pack less than 12 hours.
Oh my God.
My mom would be so nervous. She'd be calling me like 5 days or a week. I was like, have you started putting things away? I'm like, no. Because for me or for us, we just buy whatever we don't have, we'll buy it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just your style of packing is, I'm guessing, like throw everything in, whatever you don't have, you go shopping for it.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'm not one to be too precious about no. Even like skincare or whatever, like, you know.
It's just the same.
I just bring whatever I remember, and the one that I don't remember, I'll just get it there. Because especially if we're going to Japan.
Everything's there. Everything is
everything you want is there. Everything you need is there. Yeah. So just get it there.
Man, I can't do that.
Just go to Donkey and get everything. Donkey is like 24-hour shop, literally.
That like gives me...
Maybe when you have children, it's harder because...
No, before then, I used to love packing, like, and just, you just make later, every day you have an outfit, then you have the shoes, you're packing the shoes. I don't know, it's quite like therapeutic. Then you have like the makeup, the skincare, and it's like, okay, I'm ready. And
the only thing that usually I'm nervous about is cables. Like chargers.
The cables.
Yeah, especially being a content creator, like the microphone, like all of these cables, that's already like super bad. It's already like, can someone buy me a new one?
Oh, yes.
I think Ollie chewed on this.
Oh, the attachments.
Yeah, all of these different attachments.
So how many cables are you bringing? Have you streamlined it?
It's crazy until now. I've discovered that thing.
One of the Japanese stores, you can get like cable holders. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have it in my bed, next to my bed.
Yes.
Because my bed I have like 3 chargers for 2 iPhone and an iPad. So at least I need those 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's there'll be 2 iPhones, 1 iPad, potentially a camera, and then the microphone, and then what else? Oh, usually we always to Japan because we're gonna walk a lot.
Yeah,
we bring massage gun. Always
what for your calf muscles?
And feet. Like nothing better. Like nothing best. Like it's so good after walking 30,000. After 30,000 steps, it's the best. Like that. Oh yeah, I have it somewhere there. It's seriously so important. We did it last time, which is 2 months ago. Yeah, we're gonna do that again. So at least
that's such a good
minimum
tip.
7 cables.
Yes.
And then the hotel would be like has cables everywhere.
Yeah, it's so good. And like, are all the cables compatible? Because I know, like in Australia, the technology is like a bit.
Yes, they are. Yeah. But luckily now the hotels, a lot of chargers are just USBs, right? So you just plug it in the USB.
Yeah.
So it's quite good.
It's right. Because I remember, like before, you'd have to buy like the universal adapter to put it on everything, and then have like the Japan.
Oh, I still need to bring that because there are. Actually, this time we need it because we're going to Kyoto and some of the older
the older hotels. Styles. Yeah.
One of the hotels we're staying is it's attached or combined together with a shrine.
Nice.
So and it's all black.
All black.
Like literally all black. The tiles are black. Everything's black. So it looks.
What, a modern shrine? Or?
No, the hotel is, but the shrine is like attached to it.
Oh wow!
It looks really cool.
Wow, that's really fancy.
Yeah.
All black.
All black, like black and a little bit of white.
Right, so like the walls are black?
Yes, the walls are black. And the only thing that was white I saw was the artwork with the brush painted.
It'd be interesting to see what the work is seeing, like going into like a work environment where it's all black. It feels like night, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's still bright actually, because I think there's like a lot of glass. And there's all black on the end.
Oh.
Apparently win like so many awards.
Oh wow.
Because being inside a shrine or next to a shrine.
Yeah. Right. So it's like kind of it'd be quite peaceful. The state.
I hope so.
Like Zen.
Fingers. We'll see the content.
And then you'll be like,
and because this chain of hotel is called Mitsui Garden, which is have like over 150 in Japan. They're famous because each hotel have onsen in it, like have the hot springs.
Yes, the hot springs
in the building. Like not like it's not an onsen hotel. It's not an onsen. It's not a ryokan. The ryokan is like the hotel. It's onsen first, and then it happened to have a hotel.
Yes.
But this is a hotel building, and there's a floor for onsen homes. And all of them, even the one in Tokyo, in every state, they always have an onsen.
Wow. So imagine it would be just like so relaxing. Like that's the whole vibe of this place, right?
Yeah.
Super modern, relaxing.
Yeah.
It's onsen, there's a shrine.
Every time I make content about onsen, the amount of comment I got about like tattoos, like, am I allowed? I'm like, I don't know.
What?
The amount of comments saying, am I allowed in with the tattoos? Because Japan is so big on not allowing, if you have any tattoo, if you have a tattoo, you're not allowed to go to onsen or the hot spring. Yeah.
What?
Because tattoo are associated with the Yakuza in Japan, with the gangster.
Yes.
So even like an baby angel tattoo of your children or whatever, like, they will see that. They will sorry, you're not allowed.
No
the tiny
way.
one, if you can patch it with a thing, it's fine. But the big ones, you're not allowed.
Like, so Ben Affleck.
Most onsen, you're not allowed. Most onsen.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Like, never thought about that.
Yeah, and then,
interesting.
There are onsen that's allowed, but the one that's allowed maybe is the Yakuza own ones. You don't want to go there.
Maybe.
Imagine you're going to go in with a bunch of people that have like full body tattoo.
Yeah. But look, if you're not, if you're not associated with it, like who's to say? I think it's quite amazing, like the subculture of.
It's such a different world. Yeah. I made a content once. Did I tell you about the stamp?
Yes, the Pokemon one. Like you're doing
the work
Pokemon.
At work.
Oh yes, and then
they're bowing, and then the comment was that they were all hating on the dystopian, how dystopian it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly. I wonder whether, like in Japan, you'd have cancel stamps of like when you're cancelled because you said something.
Oh, maybe you just cross it. Stamp is such a big deal in Japan. Like you see shops that just sells nothing but stamp.
Oh my god! I'm really into stamps lately, actually.
What stamping for your Gold Star?
Stamping for myself. So like to get myself motivated, I bought these stamps from Officeworks, and it has like final notice. So that's like when all my content needs to be done. And then like then I've got ones where you have like received.
Yeah.
Which is like, have I received the draft? And then I write the little date in. So I've got like received.
Like,
final notice.
That's like what happened when I was working in uni. Like, what?
Really? And then I've got like, you know, the publish done, like approved. Yeah. Because I was just like, how am I going to...
Is this for your work?
No. This is for like my content creation stuff.
Okay.
Because you know when you're just... It's often you do it by yourself, right? Yeah. And you don't have like...
Self-management kind of... It's like your self-management tool.
Yes, that. And then I've got a little like egg timer where it's like, okay, I've got to put in 30 minutes. Like,
I think that would be useful for me because every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to start editing at 2 a.m. Yes. What about like 7 p.m. What and then I end up just being distracted. And then just like watch Netflix or watch Reels or TikTok, whatever.
Yeah,
and then okay, it's 7:30. Okay, let's start at 7:30.
Yeah. See, no, I need to.
The egg timer was like the minute I turn it on, then you know that you have to start.
Yes, exactly. You have to start, and then you time it so you can just go to like any grocery store to just like buy the timer.
Yeah.
And because otherwise, like last night I was just watching Disney and like a documentary about aliens. Yeah, because you know when you
should watch 100 Physical.
Oh my God. Yes, I heard about this. And it's the guy from Singles Inferno.
One of them. Yes.
Oh my God, he was my favorite.
Oh, was it?
Oh my God.
He's like, they call him the Netflix boy because he's in many Netflix series.
He's like the what's the other one? The Internet's boyfriend. You know, the To All the Boys. Noah with Laura Jane. To All the Boys I Loved Before. He's
Noah Centineo. Yes. Centineo.
Yes. So he's
yes.
Yes.
This is the Korean version. I wonder if there's the next one, but but now there's a controversy on 100.
What is it?
Physical 100. Because Physical 100 because the guy who won it, and then the guy number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the number 2 guy who won it say that the last challenge had to be reshot 3 times.
Right.
And the other 2 times, the second guy was winning.
Yes.
No, was on the way of winning.
Oh, okay.
Because the excuse was there's a technical error or there is the microphone has an issue.
Yes.
One of them is the winner say there's an issue with the microphone. Or there's an issue with there's a technical issue. So they're like, okay, so that's why they're saying like the winner should have been the first because the first 2 round he was winning or whatever.
Right, someone was ahead. Yeah.
And then the third one, the winner actually, and the one that got published is that one. So, yeah.
Well, which is quite true. Like in a TV context, right? You've got so many things. Like even with MasterChef and all these cooking shows, like the food, you can ice skate on the food. You know, because by the time you get to the tasting, there's so many other things. Like and time's gone, and you've got to consider the lighting, the mics and everything else. But like a competition like that, it's almost
if I'm cooking for MasterChef, I have to make sure that all my food are cold friendly.
Cold friendly.
It's not like chips where it's cold and it's stale.
Yeah, that's right.
My food would actually taste good cold.
Full cold.
Pizza. Make sure pizza. Pizza tastes great. So cold.
It tastes good cold.
So is it? Okay. That's true.
Yeah, pizza's good cold. Chicken's
good fried chicken's good cold.
Yeah, fried chicken's good. Yeah, really good cold. Yeah. And then what else is good cold?
Cold dish.
Cold dishes. Yeah, cold dishes. Yeah, that's good. I've been getting a lot into Korean, right? You know, there's a place nearby my place, and it's like a Korean grocer, and it's sesame leaves.
No.
Upstairs in Lickham Centre. The Lickham Centre?
Asiana.
Yes. And then it's so good.
It's so weird that I know grocery's name. Yeah. I love that place. The fruits, when you enter, so many fruits.
And fresh.
And then what was it? Sesame leaves?
So it's like betel. Have you heard of betel leaves? You know that big fat
beetle leaf?
Yes. Yeah, beetle leaves, yeah. They call it sesame leaves. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. But you have that.
Yeah.
You have Korean barbecue meats.
Yes.
And then
I think they call it, no, it's not beetle leaf. That one is called perilla leaf.
Yeah, but it's called sesame seed.
Yeah, I know. The one where it's like big, round, and then it's like very jaggedy.
Yes.
And it's a bit hairy. I don't like that. I'd rather the lettuce.
Because it's a bit.
It's a bit hairy. I don't like.
I love it.
Actually, beetle leaf is a bit hairy too.
Yeah, beetle leaf. All the leaves are hairy. See if you.
But I think beetle leaf have got shiny front and hairy back. Well, this one is a little bit hairy on the front and also hairy at the back. So,
I didn't mind the hair.
So people actually kimchi that as well.
Yes, this is what I do. Yeah, so
they put like stacks of it.
That's what I do.
And then brine it.
No, I didn't do that. Well, so had kimchi and then like the meats and then the leaves.
Yeah.
And like a bit of cucumber, which is how we've done it, and then just some sauce.
Yeah.
Korean like.
Oh, you mean you make a wrap?
Yeah, you make
a sub. No, yeah. I meant they kimchi that. So the kimchi is pickling in Korean.
Yeah.
So they pickle that. Yeah, and it becomes a slices of pickled perilla leaves or sesame leaves.
Okay, yes.
So they put a stack of it in a container and then pour like a pickling or kimchi brine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they thought kimchi is, when I say kimchi, they have an image. You have an image.
Yes, I have an image.
But actually kimchi-ing is like
any
pickling.
Kind of pickling.
Yeah, it's just your pickling. So they kimchi that too.
To pickle,
But usually, because the perilla leaves, then you put like, they have this like round daikon or the thinly sliced
radish.
The white radish, yes.
That's the thing that I get as well to put on top. It's so good.
And do you do it at home?
Yes.
With the children?
No. This is just like me and Shay. Because kimchi has fish and the kids can't eat fish. Yeah. So they're like on a separate. It's got anchovies and it's got like a lot of like fish products. Anyways,
you should make your own kimchi for them.
Yeah, like a fish friendly, like without fish and the same substitute. Like
they can't eat fish at all.
No seafood, no fish. I know, which is such a shame because like that is my place. Yeah.
Don't give them kimchi then. Just eat.
No, they have kimchi.
And do you buy the beef from that place too?
Sorry?
Do you buy the beef?
Yes. Yeah, everything. So I think I'm going to hit up that place today, actually.
Yeah, Asiana.
Because it's just like really good.
You live in Eastwood, near Eastwood, right?
It's Lickham.
But you live near Eastwood as well?
Yes.
Because there is a Korean grocery in Eastwood that's...
Oh, that's the same? Or, it would be...
Beyond, even better.
It's
called K-Mall. No, this one have a parking underneath it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called, if you put in Google K-Mall 09, it's the largest Korean grocer in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah,
it's huge.
I find you have to be in the mood. It's like the mood for Costco. You have to be in a mood because the
minute I enter, I'm always in the mood.
Oh, really? No, because it's like sometimes I feel it's a bit overwhelming because there's just so much. Whereas the one
grocery place is my happy place.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Like the first place in any country when I land is go to the grocery shop. And because I just am so absorbing.
But don't you get tired? Do you get fatigue, like supermarket fatigue?
No.
Don't?
I'll just be like, what content is interesting?
Oh, no. But like, don't you get like, this is like in the middle of the aisle and I'm not even through the shop?
Never. Because I get my energy from being in grocery shopping.
Yeah, it gives you energy.
Literally what I do is I rush from beginning to end and then I go back.
Okay.
And then do a slow round.
Yeah.
So I'm not exhausted that I do it twice.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd just be doing a quick glance of everything, and then I'll do a slow glance of everything.
So you must have a really high tolerance of like
sensory overload. Yes,
I get sensory. Honestly, I get sensory like.
So then you would love that Woolies is doing a quiet hour.
Yes, I do love the quiet hours. Yes, they do a lot more than I used to go all the time. And I love this. Yeah, I think it's just like when I was growing up, when I was little with Mum. Like just going to the grocery shop, there's little snacks and stuff that I love, and then sometimes because it's been.
Are we done, Mum?
Sorry,
Are we done, Mum?
Yeah, and then now.
Let's go.
Well, even now, finding certain things. Sometimes when I'm really tired, I get.
Do you use List?
I do use a list,
Never have I in my life by using a list.
See, that's even like beyond, right? Because it's like you need some structure and guidance.
But you know what? Maybe have children means you have to have a list, obviously.
No, I think I've always been like that, though. It's just too much. When it's all foreign to me, I think my brain is just like, wow. Just in the grocery setting with the food. Because then it's like maybe your brain has to think.
I have a feeling a lot of people, if they watch this, they'll be like, they can see that happening.
Yeah,
to them,
because
but-
your brain has to go, okay, like, where are the lollies? Like, because the other day I was looking for Pokemon lollies,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then I was just like, oh, okay, that's the person I can ask where that is, but sometimes it's hidden. And then there's like kind of lollies scattered everywhere at the front, then some at the back, and then some, like even when I look for surprise eggs, right, in the Korean place, it's always, where is it?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not where you think it is.
Because it's in the front sometimes.
Sometimes in the front, but sometimes on the side at the bottom. Right? That's what I mean.
Why are you hiding in the surprises?
But it's true because there's so many options. And then I get like distracted. So I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to get that. Remember how you told me about that water bottle that has...
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so good. But you need to get the Korean water bottles. You can't just get
That's true. I realized it after you went away.
Yeah.
But luckily you near Asiana, you live near Ellicum. Because people were asking me, like, what bottle did you use? I happened to, when I bought that thing, I happened to like, I needed water. Needed water. So I bought a Korean water. That's why it worked for me. I didn't realize that.
No, because I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to listen to what Adrian said and I'm going to go get the 500ml water bottle.
Yes.
And then when I opened it when I got home, I was like, oh, it doesn't work. Like, it has to be Korean. So I went back. And I was like, and then every time I go now, I'm like, 4 water bottles, please.
Do you know that Korean water apparently tastes so distinct, different waters, different brands, that people can actually do taste tests and they can identify which water.
Different. Yeah, I think I'd be able to do that taste
The
test.
Australian one, yes. My least favorite is Coolridge and Pentel's.
Yeah. I think it feels cleaner, the Korean one. It feels a bit lighter, if that sounds, I don't know.
It's like Fiji water. Fiji water, I love.
It tastes...
Evian and Fiji water, unfortunately, I love. I know they're bougie, but I guess they're bougie because the flavor is just so great.
Yeah. We should do a blind test of water.
Oh my gosh, we totally should. Oh my God, let's do that.
Yes, a blind test.
Because I'm such a water snob.
Like, you know, it's funny because it's like, sometimes I think that I could tell the difference. I reckon I could tell the difference between Korean, the Korean and the Aussie one, like the English one, Fiji water and like normal...
Evian is very distinct.
Normal home brand water. That would be the biggest test.
The biggest test would be, because I hate Coolridge and Pentel's. Yeah. Coolridge, Pentel's, and if you give me like either Coolridge or a Pentel's or a tap water...
Tap water. Yeah.
I definitely prefer a tap water.
Yeah, right. So you would go tap water to do it. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
it would be
hilarious
to see, right? Like to actually see the difference of like bottle. Because Gary Vee is always like, you know, back before like water was free, it was free, and then now like there's water bottles and people pay $4.
Yeah.
But then if you can taste the difference, that is an argument of why water should be, costed,
true.
Right?
But in Asia, water is not that crazy expensive. It's like 50 cents
like,
in Indonesia.
Yeah, like I find over time, it's gotten like...
But it's crazy here.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Even like groceries, like what, $2.50 or whatever.
Yes, $2.50. I paid it in cash the other day. Yeah.
But if you buy the home brand
one, it's $4.
like 88
the other day was $4.
Well, like Fiji and Evian would be like very expensive.
Yeah. Look, I wanted to introduce a new thing, which is reacting to shorts, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it here and then we can watch it together.
Yeah.
All right. So...
Everybody's too fucking slow these days. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna rip his fucking face off. Not physically, but financially. How much for the quarter? The quarter? I mean, I think that's just change from the last customer. Change is a dying currency. How much for the quarter? Why would I sell a quarter? It's worth 25 cents. I'm not gonna go lower than 24 cents. I mean, honestly, you can just have it. How much for the jersey? Oh, that one I'm actually pretty sad to like.
There's like a Gary Vee impersonation.
Oh, got it. No wonder he's doing that.
For 400, but we just
and I love like the beanie and the headphones.
That's a knife. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of gratitude.
Gratitude
right there. I love shit. I eat shit. That's not for sale. It literally says on the sign, hello, my name is not for sale. Okay, I can't let that go. That was the last appliance we were able to rescue. This is all sympathy. From my grandmother's house fire in 2000. I have no sympathy for Simps. I can't do it.
Simps.
D-Rock, hand me the Glock.
Oh, I love it. D-Rock is like...
Rice sales.
D-Rock is his side person who films, right? And
For who?
for Gary Vee.
Oh.
So D-Rock and Dustin,
Yeah.
right? And then he's got D-Rock as his original crew, and then Dustin who's just joined.
Oh my god.
And he's always he's got empathy wines, right? And then, Gary Vee.
Yeah.
So he initially started having a wine shop for his dad. So he's turned his dad's wine shop around. This is like...
Empathy wine?
Yeah,
Oh, I
empathy.
thought you were talking about like... He said he got no sympathy, like something like that.
Yeah, but I think playing with the words, and so it's just so funny, like the way that he's appropriated what goes on, and like the street cred as well. I want to show you another one.
Oh, okay. Asian piano.
Asian piano.
Oh, this is... You know who he is?
Yeah.
I don't play the piano. But the piano sitting there for 9 years. What you know? I never took lessons or anything. Okay, I'll go take some lessons. How much they cost? About $100 an hour.
It's so true because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
What the hell you saying? Okay, Steve, mom and dad tell you something. It's time you find out of it. Your agent.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you know. Go play the piano. Oh,
Love it.
to be made to power again. Press one key.
Realization.
Look, you can press 1, you can press 20. Same thing now. That doesn't make any sense. I can't just...
I should totally do this because I could actually play piano.
Oh, really? This is so true to you.
Oh my god. What the hell? All I had to do was just press many notes at the same time. Told you that. Stupid. Why don't you go meet some other people? Take
And make $100. No.
your father the back saw. Your father the Gucci back.
You know where he's famous from?
Yeah.
There is a sound in TikTok that's like emotional damage.
Oh,
That's him.
yeah.
So whatever, I think he was watching something and something being ripped off, and it was like emotional damage, and then so he's always been called the emotional damage guy.
Yes. It's so funny. Like I can just binge watch his stuff because a lot of it is so true.
But didn't you watch Uncle Roger today?
I watched Uncle Roger first,
Yes.
and then came across
Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen. So he started popping up a lot on my shorts.
Yes.
And then like the piano one is so funny because every kid.
That is so
But
true.
then, like, every kid that's, like, young can play virtuoso level,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then the other day I was at the Disney 100 concert.
Yes.
And then what I noticed was, like, out of the 64-piece orchestra,
Yeah.
it was, like, one Asian.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like, what happens between, like, virtuoso to, like, you know, the actual...
Everyone, I think what happened was everyone just start hating when your parents is pushing you so hard.
Yes, that too. And then I also feel like it's just something that parents don't boast about. So, like, if you're an Asian mum and your kid is, like, university virtuoso at, like, 4 or 5, can play the piano, violin, nail stuff.
Yeah.
But then you're not going to say it when they're, like, 23, 24. Like,
Yeah.
what does your son do? Well, he plays violin.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a...
Unless you're someone super famous.
Yeah, unless, yes, unless you're someone super famous. It's like, no,
No.
he
He's a
works
lawyer.
he's a lawyer, works at JP Morgan. He's executive. But isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, where do they all go? These kid
Yes.
prodigies, music prodigies,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not performing at like a really high level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not.
And one more. Actually, tells you, do you want to do a quiz?
Yes.
To wrap things up? Okay, so this is like a telltale sign as to whether you're from what state you're from.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you should do it because you're born here.
Okay, so
Have you done it?
no, I haven't.
No, okay.
First up,
First up, what
type of spread do you put on your toast in the morning?
Oh.
Vegemite, Nutella, peanut butter, honey. Peanut butter.
PBE.
Yeah. Okay. What type of coffee do you order when you're out? Flat white, oat cap, iced latte, cold brew.
Like what? No.
Yeah, I'm like flat. It used to be flat white, and then now I'm leaning towards the iced latte.
Pizza.
What type of pizza do you order for delivery? Meat lovers, veggie supreme, prosciutto.
With the burrata.
Yeah, what's burrata?
Like the cheese in the middle.
Ooh.
The wet cheese.
Ooh, I've never tried that before.
I think,
love this.
people put that, I think for the Melbourne people maybe or something.
All right. What type of sandwich do you prefer for lunch? Toasted cheese, parma, smashed yeah, that's a Sydney side answer, right? But that's the truth. What type of meat do you prefer for your barbecue? Sausages, steak, cooked rare, eggplant, salmon fillets. Barbecue, steak.
Yep.
What type of drink do you prefer with your meal? Cold beer, organic wine, tropical juice. Another coffee, please. Yeah, another coffee, please.
What?
And finally, what type of snack do you prefer when watching a movie? Choc top. Oh, yeah, this one's easy. Popcorn and Maltesers. Where am I?
New South Wales!
Oh, my God! You got it right!
If you love your Vegemite and smashed Arvo, I didn't even realize smashed Arvo is a New South Wales thing.
Ah, yeah.
With a trusty flat white, yes.
Yeah,
Chances are you're a proud New South Walesman.
You love the simple things in life.
New South Welshman. I thought it's New South Whalers.
Oh, Welshman. Yeah, Whalers.
Yes.
Yeah. Enjoy good barbecue with friends and family. Yes. You're a laid-back, easygoing Aussie who knows how to have a good time. Yes.
Oh. There you go. Oh, you are correctly identified.
Correctly identified.
By BuzzFeed.
By BuzzFeed, okay. We'll do another quiz
next
week.
Find another quiz.
And then what should we do as a comment, as an emoji, if you stayed all the way to the end of the podcast?
Yes. I don't know.
The piano.
The piano. Let's do the piano. Let's do the piano emoji. Is there such? Yeah, I'm sure there is.
There is, yeah. It's different musical notes on the keyboard. Yes. Hit us up with the piano.
Especially if your mum, your family push you to play the piano.
Yeah. Do multiple ones.
Yes. Thank you for joining.